The town was fairly large, compared to others Han had seen. Surrounding the town was a 100-foot tall wall, which appeared to be very solid. Considering how far away the people that lived inside of this town were compared to others, the wall likely needed to be able to protect against monsters and especially the overflow. As they rode up towards the entrance of the town, the guards signaled for them to stop. One of the guards approached the wagon that Han was riding on. "Welcome to Balrek. What brings your party to our humble town?" The guard was very polite. Ellie moved to a seat that was closer to the guard and pulled out a letter from a jacket. "I am the fourth princess of the Elven Kingdom. Here is a letter of introduction from the Queen. We are here to purchase supplies before we enter into the Elven Kingdom," she explained to the guard. "Your Highness, we are honored to have such an individual inside of our town. Do you require any assistance with gathering the necessary supplies?" he politely offered. "Thank you. I greatly appreciate any help you could provide us. It has been some time since I last visited Balrek, so I am a bit unfamiliar with where everything is located. Having a guide would greatly reduce our burden," Ellie gracefully accepted. Nodding his head, the guard said, "We have an area that you can keep your wagons and carriages in, and any supplies you purchase will be delivered here. We are also appreciative towards our elven brothers and sisters, so I hope you have an enjoyable visit." The wagons and carriages entered the town and parked in the waiting area. With this town being close to the Elven Kingdom, it sees a lot of people that travel through to other destinations. The town decided to have a dedicated area for those coming into the town, instead of having them park at each of the inns. The inns appreciate this because they do not need to charge the guests an additional fee for parking and can rely on the local government, Ellie explained to Han and Celestra. "I noticed that the town also seems to be fairly close to elves. Compared to what I've seen inside the academy, I found this to be interesting," Han observed. With the distance to the capital being so far, the town has built a close relationship with the nearby elvish communities. Seeing the benefits with having a strong connection to the Elven Kingdom, many residents have a positive view of non-humans. Han looked around the entrance into the city and saw that there was, in fact, a larger number of elves compared to the academy. "This is a good chance to look around, while I take my servants and the adventurers to find supplies we will need. Considering how many of your servants are non-humans, I think you will enjoy this place," Ellie suggested to Han, seeing his interest in the town. "I will take you up on your suggestion," Han agreed. With Celestra holding his arm, he led his companions into the town. The town looked very similar to a Central European village. There didn't appear to be a strict order of where things were placed, where there were houses next to businesses and inns scattered around. Though it made it look more inviting and homely, Han preferred the way Felicitas was organized with clear boundaries for each section. Many of the residents looked over at Han, with his large entourage of beautiful women. There were a couple of guys, both human and elves, who looked at his companions only be smacked by their significant others. Walking down the street, Han noticed a fancy building that seemed to be somewhat out of place in this town. As he neared the business, he found there was a jewelry store. There were displays showcasing the items that they sold. Each of his companions and Celestra looked at the items. Even Han was impressed by the quality that was presented. There were necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and other products that women enjoyed wearing and showing off. Amused by the reactions, Han walked into the store. The inside was very clean, with a minimalist approach. Aside from the chandelier, there were a couple of standalone displays and a long glass counter where you could see even more products to choose from. Behind the counter was an older elvish gentleman who was dressed in a simple business outfit. "Welcome to the Breathless Woman. Is this your first time at this fine establishment?" the man asked Han. "Yes. We are stopping by in Balrek to gather supplies before we head into the Elven Kingdom. Your store is very eye-catching," he complimented the man. "Thank you. We pride ourselves in presenting an ideal environment to select jewelry. My name is Tom, so please ask if you have any questions," Tom said. Each of his companions moved to various parts of the store to look at the jewelry. Han allowed himself to be guided by Celestra to look at the different items. Though this world was a fantasy world, none of the products on display would lose to the jewelry on Earth. He was surprised by the level of craftsmanship this world had. Han noticed that Celestra paused at a jewelry lock. Tom sensed her interest in the item and came over to them. "The lady has good taste. These locks are fully functional and used to keep something secure while still being dazzling." Celestra shyly shook her head, denying her interest in it. "We will take it," Han said to Tom. Looking up at Han, Celestra was surprised and happy at the same time. "It will be 10 gold pieces," Tom informed Han. After hearing the price, Celestra quickly said, "You do not need to get that for me." Placing his hand in his pocket, he materialized the necessary amount of gold and deposited it onto the counter. When the man took out the locket and the key, Han only picked up the lock and said, "I will not need the key." Ignoring the man's confusion, he took the lock and made it pass through the ring in front of Celestra's collar. "Why would I need a key to a lock that symbolizes you belonging to me?" he said to her. Letting go of the lock, it hung from the ring and glittered in the light. Placing his hand on the cheek, Han said, "It looks beautiful on you." Saying that Celestra looked happy would not be a fitting description to describe the emotion on her face. "I love you, E," she softly said. "I love you too," he said to her. When they left the store, each of the girls had a new piece of jewelry. A necklace wore emerald earrings, which complemented her hair and eyes. Horacia had a bracelet with a purple sapphire prominently displayed. Queen got a necklace with a diamond on it, and Brittany received a collar with a heart-shaped ruby in the center. All of them looked happy and content about receiving such stunning gifts from Han. Though he was never big on giving women jewelry, seeing all of them look so happy made him understand why guys enjoyed giving jewelry to women. After leaving the jewelry store, Han and his group went to where the marketplace was located. He was curious as to what this place looked like, and if there was anything interesting to try out. The marketplace looked similar to older locations on Earth. He remembered traveling to Istanbul and getting a chance to visit the market there. The girls pointed at different stalls displaying varying ingredients. Each of the owners was trying to gain their attention, with Han occasionally giving out money for the girls to try out a new fruit or vegetable. There was a stall that had roasted meat on a skewer, so Han got each of the girls 2. He held both his share and Celestra's. She liked holding his arm as he fed her the juicy meat. Seeing some of the juices dribble down the side of her face made him chuckle. Surprising Celestra, Han lowered his head and licked the juices off of her face. Her face became bright red as she buried her face into his arm. After several hours had passed, they ran into Ellie, along with servants and guards. "How is the shopping for supplies going?" he asked the princess. "I have ordered enough food for the remainder of the trip. Also, I picked up several packs for when we need to carry our supplies into the swamp. Lucky for us, this town had packs that are waterproof, which is perfect for the swamp." Everything should be heading to where our wagons are parked, so we'll be leaving for the Elven Kingdom soon.